My name is Aaron Garcia. I am the Executive Director for the White Center Community Development Association. And we are about to begin the show. So I'm gonna invite one of our board vice chair, Patricia Allen, to start us off with a land acknowledgement.
Hello everyone. Ganashish Patricia Yochat Duasach Chukanadi Ayachet. I am Patricia Allen. I'm the vice president of the White Center CDA. And I was born and raised here in White Center. Got my EHS class of 08. And I wanted to just thank you all for being here. This community here is on Coast Salish territories. As some of you might know, multiple nations within the nations of the Coast Salish people, especially the descendants of Chisialt. You also might know some of the federally recognized tribes that are from this region, especially the Muckleshoot Nation, the Suquamish Nations, Puyallup Nations, also the Duwamish Nations and Snoqualmie Nations. I wanted to acknowledge many of the ancestors here. If you understand anything about Coast Salish communities and people, there's a huge web of relationships and families that are tied very intricately between one another throughout the Coast Salish and the Salish Sea regions. And so, although I am not Coast Salish, I canoe with the Swinomish canoe family and have really called this space home as a guest, as a Southeast Alaskan guest of this region that participates in Coast Salish community activities and gatherings. But I really wanted to take that space for you all to just bear witness to that history and how we're continuing as a community here in White Center to build and reinforce even more relationships with the Coast Salish nations. Thank you, and I raise my hands to you. That's how many of the Coast Salish communities say our visual thank yous, so thank you. Ganashish.
Today has been 7 years in the making, and the person, like, I've been along for the ride, I've been doing my part, but the most chingona, badass person who's been leading this is the one, the only, Celie Savusa. Please come up to the stage.
Hi, everybody. Talofa. Welcome to White Center! Yeah! In the beginning, when we started this project, we used to actually call the project The Big Idea. I know Steve's here, and we used to say, hey, we got this freaking big idea. We want to build this big-ass space for all of our big stuff here in White Center. And, you know, back in the day when we were just trying to figure out the name, the actual official kind of campaign name, I'd look at Aaron and I'm like, it's the big idea. What name are they looking for? So the whole notion of the big idea actually started over 20 years ago in a community vision that came through one of our White Center summits in the early days of the CDA. One of the strategies that came out of our early work was to build a cultural space. And the other strategy was to build a White Center CDA. And that whole conversation over 20 years ago, and I know Eileen's here, the executive director who I followed, you know, we were always trying to figure and how do we align ourselves and position ourselves to build a space like this. Many of you have heard me say during this process that it is no wonder that communities of color have not developed a lot more. The barriers to capital and the complex way financing happens has actually brought me to tears in the meetings. As one of a color sitting in some of these conversations through this process with, I want to say, almost exclusively white faces, I remember feeling belittled. I remember not knowing what was being said around me. Now, I'm fucking smart, but I could not, for the life of me, follow a lot of these conversations that were happening around this project. But one thing that kept me hopeful and kept me in the driver's seat was knowing that this is for a white center. For young people today, this is what liberation looks like. When communities are able to lead the work with the community square in the driver's seat. To young people, if you think you have this vision of the world, I want you to push yourself and think about this vision, that we could do anything if people believe in us. Now, I don't have a background in community development, building bricks and mortar. And when I told Aaron that we're gonna do this, he looked at me as if to say, "Oh, me?" And I say, "Yes, you. This is our work, and the community will help guide us." And now look, believe. To all of our partners, and I just want to say before, you know the things that's, when you start to acknowledge people, you're so scared about losing somebody. Well, if I do, I still love you. Thank you for believing in White Center. Remember the conversations that we have had around this work, and take it with you to the next project and the next community. Thank you, King County, for your unwavering support of this work from the beginning. Thanks for the hard conversations. Yes, clap. Thank you for the hard conversations and difficult moments of building relationships that we needed our local government to step up, and you did big time. I want to lift up the following organizations and their work that has informed our movements through this project. Africa Town, El Centro de la Raza, Chief Seattle, Bird Bar Place, Craft 3, Yes Foundation of White Center. A special shout out to Community Roots Housing and developers of this project. And a big ass shout out to the Rise Together partners, some of who I've already mentioned, including Gen Pride, and the anchor tenants, HealthPoint and Southwest Youth and Family Services. Yeehaw! You know, many of you know I've gone on to another job as the executive director of NHPI focused nonprofit. And I feel like I've been watching this project, but I feel like I've been watching this project because it has been very affirming to me as a woman of color. When I think about my parents who came here to Seattle in the 50s, could you imagine, I'm sure they couldn't, that their daughter, a Samoan girl, who didn't know how to do this work, would be in the front, helping to make sure that the community's voice and involvement was part of a $32 million project. I want to also acknowledge and lift up two incredible people in my life as part of this work as well. I've been calling them as my sons, the boys. Aaron Garcia and Mason Cavell. So these two have, for all intents and purposes, have been the project manager working with the CDA alongside the CDA team. You know, I just want to say the two of you, thank you for dealing with me, but more importantly, for driving this vision home for White Center. Thank you all for being here. To MARPAC, you know, everything that we did, we tried to center communities of color. MARPAC ended up being at the table with us. Our original designers, our architects, SKL, we wanted to make sure that this was opportunities for people of color to also lead and to shine as a result of this work. This is, other than being a mom, this has been one of the most personal experiences in my life, and I thank you all. And I'm just so thankful on behalf of my family and behalf of this incredible community. Thank you so much.
Would not want to follow up Sealy. But before we announce our next speaker, I get the honor of recognizing some of our amazing funders. As you can tell, in supporters, it's a long list. So I'm going to actually be doing this throughout the day. So the first round of folks who get some love from us today are our public funders, which is King County, Washington State Housing Finance Commission, Washington State Department of Commerce, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, and Senator Patty Murray, Senator Wynn, Nicole Marcy, and Representative Joe Fitzgibbon. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. Our next amazing speaker, I like to call him the real Captain Planet, the best King County executive of all time, the guy who's been leading the green movement here in Washington State and across the United States. Please, let's welcome Dow Constantine.
Well, I'm just going to say Ron Sims might have an argument with you about the best King County executive ever. But I appreciate being mentioned in that company. I am thrilled to be here, back here today in White Center, which I realize where I brought my baby to learn to ride her bike right here. She just turned 10, for God's sake. But it is, White Center's been part of my life for my whole life, living up the street a ways. I am so excited to be here for the groundbreaking of this community hub, bringing hope and unity to the community of White Center. It is really, as has been said, a testament to the power of community-driven development and what is possible when communities and local governments partner. And King County is and has been proud and pleased to be able to be a part of this effort. Working with the County Council, we have invested $16 million in this project to create 76 affordable homes alongside the space for community and education programs and integrated health services and small businesses. And your collective voice as a community and your advocacy made this work and the White Center Community Hub possible. So we transferred the land. It's been years now since we transferred this county land to the White Center CDA. During COVID, we created a participatory budgeting process. And I want to thank the people of White Center in particular for voting to allocate $750,000 from that budgeting process to this project. And we cannot forget the direct work of the King County Council. $1 million was awarded in the 2022 council budget, and that is owing pretty much exclusively to the efforts of your now former county council member who's chosen to go pursue other interesting avenues, but he's here with us today. Please welcome and thank King County Council Member Emeritus Joe McDermott. Thank you, Joe, for everything you've done for our community. This hub ensures that investments made by public funders and private funders will match the lived experience of those who call this neighborhood home, including those who've been here for generations, including those who've just recently arrived. Our purpose at King County, at Martin Luther King County, our true north is to create a welcoming community where every person can thrive. We seek to align all of our work around that single purpose. And that means services and infrastructure and opportunities, and it means centering community in our decision making. So thank you for being a part of taking that vision, the vision of a community where every person, regardless of where you started in life, can truly fulfill your potential, and taking another step toward making it real here in White Center. Thank you so much, and congratulations, everyone.
All right. Before our next speaker, we're going to do another commercial break to give love to the amazing philanthropic funders who have supported this cause. So next up, we want to give a little bit of love to the Ariel Fund, the Balmer Group, Bank of America, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Boeing Employees Community Fund, the Joshua Green Foundation, Microsoft, Northcliffe, Seattle Foundation, and Wells Fargo. Let's give them a round of applause. Next up, I am so honored to announce, some of y'all don't know this, but I wore a different hat a couple years ago. I was the board of directors representing Highline School District, this community, a couple years back. And it is my deep, deep pleasure and honor to recognize the current board of director, Stephanie Tilholm, and Ivan Duran, and Director Hagos. Come up to the stage, please. And any other board of director who's up here. And yo, we have seriously the best group of board of directors of all time. They're here for our students. Let's give them another round of applause.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here. Yes, I'm Ivan Duran. I'm the proud superintendent of Highline School District, and I got to first off and just thank Ron and the board for choosing me to be able to have this opportunity. It's great to be here, and I just want to start by saying, our promise in Highline Schools is to know our students by name, strength, and need, so they graduate prepared for the future they choose. We have our students in school 180 days, over 1,000 hours a year, and the one thing that I've come to realize is that we cannot do it on our own. If we want that promise to come true, we have to have community partners helping us. And I'm so excited about the Hub because it's going to be another opportunity for our students to have a place to go after school to experience and enrichment programs. And Ron, I really want to work closely with you because I want to ensure that we have the right resources and technology that are in our schools is similar to what you have at the Hub, so our students have a seamless transition. The other thing I want to say is that the other thing I'm really excited about is in the fall of 2025, we are going to be reopening a brand new high school called the Evergreen High School. That's been a long time coming here in White Center, so I'm really honored that we're going to be able to have that opening up. And so I know the Hub's going to be really close to that opening, so we're going to have 2 brand new learning facilities here in the White Center area to better support our students, better support our families, and better support our community. So this is a wonderful event. I look forward to all the opportunities we're going to be able to have to just provide more opportunities for our students and our families. Thank you.
All right, so I did not come up ready to speak. However, here I am. I gotta tell you, although this is not my director area, this is Director Tilholm's area, this is still a city that is, or an area that is deeply, deeply connected to my family. I have my own nephew who went to the school right next to here at Cascade Middle School. And he told me, coming from another district, it was the very first time when he landed at Cascade Middle School that he felt seen, valued, and heard. So he'll be a senior at Evergreen next year. And so anyways, I don't want to take too much of your time. I just want to say you, White Center, have shown that anything is possible when you put the right people with the right heart and a vision together. I am so, so incredibly proud for this city. Thank you for everything you have done. Congratulations.
Being a resident of White Center for the last 10 years and having 2 babies that are coming up in the schools at Cascade and at our raised bed, it is so incredibly exciting to see this. Our community deserves this and our community needs this. Having grown up myself with food insecurity and housing insecurity and working currently as a social worker, trying relentlessly to not only house but maintain housing for my clients, and also doing the work knowing that I'm only a paycheck or 2 away from being in the same situation, is incredibly deep. Just knowing that we have these families and it is affecting our children and our families and their learning in our community as a whole. So to have this resource, not only the resources that they're going to have there, but the 76 houses that will be able to provide our families with stable housing where they can be safe and supported and learn, and the babies can come to school knowing that they have a house to come home to, and the parents can go to work knowing that they're not going to have to work 90 hours a week just to maintain whatever housing that they can. Is just it really hits deep to me, and I'm so incredibly grateful and proud of everything that the community has done to support this for Celie and Eron, and I'm just so honored to be in this community and to be able to continue to support it.
And I know we got Marpac, our construction team, who's doing this, and they have just been given the order that we have to have this project done by September of 2025, so it opens up the same time as Evergreen High School. Woo! They just guaranteed it. I can't believe it. It's amazing. Love you guys. All right, next up, I do want to do another quick acknowledgement of our different lenders and investors who've been supporting us from day one. So let's give some love to Capital One, Citibank, Corporation for Supportive Housing, Craft 3, EcoTrust, Enterprise, Community Partners, Hudson Housing Capital, Local Initiative Support Corporation, LISC, and JP Morgan Chase. Let's give them some love. So this project could not have been done without the amazing partners that are leading this project. One of the next amazing partners is Sherry Williams, the HealthPoint Vice President of Community Engagement and External Affairs. Coming up.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Aaron, for the warm greeting here. It's a pleasure to be here today. Lisa Yohalam, President and CEO, and Vicki Hammond, Chief Administration and Finance Officer, sends their heartfelt love and appreciation for this project and for today. I'm Sherry Williams, Vice President, Community Engagement and External Affairs for HealthPoint, and we proudly operate 12 clinics, 6 school-based clinics, an emergent care center, and now this new embedded community clinic. Today is a remarkable day as we look forward to the White Center Hub opening in 2025. HealthPoint's journey started in 2018 with our retired CEO, Tom Trumpeter, and the success of this community hub model is similar to our Together Center model, as well as our Family First Community Center model in Renton, working together in community. This new 31,000 square foot community clinic will have 6 treatment centers, 2 dental operatories, will provide essential care support and health navigation for the community. The Community Health Center lobbied and received $490,000 in Commerce grants for dental services and $250,000 for Community Development Block Grant funding to contribute to this project. With gratitude and joy, I want to thank the community and all of the partners and providers for this project. HealthPoint is excited to serve alongside Southwest Youth and Family Services, as well as the White Center Community Development Association. So I just want to thank everyone for being here today. It's just wonderful to see so many wonderful faces in the community and to be able to represent not only HealthPoint, to represent myself as a person of color who seeks and deserves good care. Thank you.
All right, all right. Before I announce the next speaker, I also want to give a little bit of love to our project partners. So can I get some love for MARPAC, SKL, Capital A Consulting, and Edge Construction? Let's go. All right. Next up, I want to recognize one of the OGs from the Rise Together campaign from day one. Can I please have the co-chair, board of directors from Southwest Youth and Family Service, Eileen Norton, come up.
Hi there. So when I saw the list of speakers, I was thrilled I didn't have to follow Seeley. But the reality is we all follow Seeley. And we will till the end of time. As it's been talked about, now that we're here at the groundbreaking, the past 7 years doesn't seem quite so long. And that includes a pandemic. So I think we should all pat ourselves on the back. I'm going to go a little different here because he never takes the credit he's due. But the person after me is Steve Daschle, our former executive director. And years ago, Southwest was in a tiny house, part of a house at 35th and Henderson. He had the vision and the wherewithal to figure out how we could make use of the old Delridge Community Center, and that's where Southwest is right now. And 7 years ago, he also had the vision that we needed to evolve. And we needed to evolve into a project like what the hub is. And that man has more positivity and wherewithal than anyone I've ever known. Because he probably won't admit it in public to embarrass me, but I was skeptical. I really was. I didn't think we could pull this off with all the different partners. But we did. So a huge thanks, obviously, to our funders, but also to the Rise Together group, because they're an amazing group of folks. And I would do any project with them again. So thank you all. We're so excited to be part of the hub. And we look forward to ribbon cutting.
All right, I love you all, but you can go under the tents now. You are totally fine. That's why we brought them. All right. Thank you, thank you. And of course, the man of the hour, the guy who also had the vision for Southwest, I want to bring up Steve Daschle to say some amazing kind words.
Well, Eileen was very generous in her comments about me, and thank you for letting me come up in my emeritus role to say a few words. And I'm grateful that we have these tents for this day. 35 years ago, Southwest was part of an effort in that building that we're about to tear down when public health had a few more resources to do real work in the community. That effort was to try to prevent teen parents from happening here in White Center. It was called Partners in Action for Teen Health. And we spent, together with public health and a number of other partners, we worked together all those years ago to bring real service and support to the communities of White Center. And that has been a consistent theme in White Center ever since. All these years, bringing people together has been the hallmark of this work with the White Center CDA and now the Rise Together effort to create this incredible building that we're about to break ground on. And so I'm looking forward to another 35 years of neighbors helping neighbors, communities coming together to celebrate and to support each other. And Southwest Youth and Family Services couldn't be happier to be a part of that effort. So thank you all for being here today, and thank you for helping us break ground.
All right, all right, all right. The next speaker, I am so excited to announce the epitome of win. It's basically in his name. All we do is win. And sorry. Because we could not have had this if we didn't have somebody down in Olympia championing for this project. So I am so excited to invite Senator Wynn to say a couple words.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. How you doing? This is just a regular day in Seattle, so I don't think it's too bad. First off, what a privilege it is to be here in White Center. For those who don't know, my family came to White Center after the Vietnam War, and this is where I was born, and this is where I was raised. Park Lake Homes, for anybody who knows, it's Ceola Gardens now, went to Cascade Middle School as well. And when I first ran for office, it was with White Center in mind. It is this community, it is the people here who uplifted my family in our time of need. So the first thing I did as we were getting into office was talk to our leaders. We have so many tremendous leaders in White Center doing great work. All I wanted to do was uplift the work that was already being done in the community. And obviously the first person to come to mind was Auntie Seeley. She probably remembers this. I go to the office, talk to Seeley, talk to Arun. We have this really big idea. It's very expensive. We'll figure it out. We're going to figure it out. And we did. In that last in the next budget cycle, we were able to get some seed funding. In the next budget cycle, we get some seed funding. We helped get some funding for the HealthPoint as well, because this community is great and it deserves great things. So for all the community members that helped my family when we first came here, we had access to public housing, we had access to affordable housing. That's how we have this rich diversity. This is a legacy of hope that we're going to leave for our communities for generations to come. Thank you for all the fantastic work. Thank you for the continued efforts in our community as well. Have a good day.
All right, all right, all right. And next up, we have the OG. I think it's one of the actual last remaining executive directors of this initial initiative. The one, the only, the man who's building houses all across King County, Chris Pearson.
Hi, my name is Chris Persons. I'm the CEO of Community Roots Housing. Seeley, I think, said that we were the developer on the project. We're actually co-developer because our co-developers are the White Center CDA and Southwest Youth and Family Services. The other thing, I usually feel fortunate speaking at these kinds of events because I feel like I can probably speak to some of the issues in our industry that maybe our community partners feel uncomfortable speaking to, but you don't have to worry about that with Seeley Savusa because she never is concerned about speaking truth to power. So I do want to add on a little bit about some of the things that she was saying, and largely that it should not take 10 years to deliver a community. 7 years, it was 10, you heard it, 20 years. It should not take that long to deliver a community hub, health services, and housing for the poor. It shouldn't take a financing stack of over 17 different funding sources. It shouldn't take Seeley Savusa, Aron Garcia, Mason Cavell, Steve Daschel, and countless others to move the heavens to achieve this one community victory. I find myself on dreary days becoming increasingly discouraged by the growing gap between the rich and poor, by the unrelenting struggle that we must wage all the time, every day, for equity, and by the length of the road that we must continue to travel on. But I also know it's my responsibility as the CEO to use my words to say something encouraging and maybe shining some light of hope on things. So this is what I want to say. And I want to quote a saying that has really helped me have hope through my entire life and career, and it's this. It's that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Of course, that's the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. But it only bends towards justice because we're all out here together bending it that way. And we couldn't do it without our partners in leadership of King County, of financing solutions from the Washington State Housing Finance Commission, Enterprise Community Partners, the Washington State Department of Commerce, Pramila Jayapal, Patty Murray, Capital One, Citibank, Chase, Hudson Housing, Corporation for Supportive Housing, LISC, Craft 3, and the Eco Trust, and the Rise Together Capital Campaign. The arc of the moral universe is long, but working together, we're going to continue bending it toward justice.
If Celie Savusa is the mayor of White Center, then Pat Thompson is like the Illuminati overlord that actually makes everything move. Let's give it up for the best youth-based program, not the best, but one of the best programs in White Center, the Yes Foundation, Pat Thompson.
Hey everyone, nice to be here, right? In the rain, I love it. I'm in White Center with all of my favorite people. I love being here. I don't know if Dr. Duran is still here, but when you said that you couldn't wait for the hub to open, I thought you were gonna say it's because you wanted to get into the recording studio and drop some beats with us, right? Because I'm getting you in there, Doctor. So, hey, I'm not gonna take much time. I just want to say that I'm as excited as everyone here. I'm excited because somebody already said it, that this community deserves this. This community does deserve it. A favorite quote of mine is by Dr. Howard Thurman. He says, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it." Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Right now, I could name easily, I could name 200 people in my community who are colleagues, who are students, who work for the county, who work in business owners, who we all have come alive together to do this thing, to passionately love our community, make a difference for our neighbors, and really lift up what is great about White Center. And I'm so privileged and so honored to be among people like that. We have the best people in our community, don't we? Right? We don't have to go anywhere else. The best people are right here. And so that's really all I wanted to say. I love being one of you. I love being one of us. Also, I want to mention I swam in the lake. Back in the 60s, I got to swim in the lake. I don't know who else can say that, but I just love being one of you. I love that you are part of me. I love that we belong to each other, and that's really what this project is about. So let's go, right?
All right. Next up, we have the amazing King County representative for District 8, White Center, the one, the only council member, Teresa Mosqueda. Let's go.
Now, this is a lineup I cannot follow, so I will just be very short. I will note that when Pat got up here, the rain ceased to come down because nothing stops this project. Not dark clouds, not rain, not lightning. We will bring the light and we will shine upon this area. That is what the skies are saying today, because this is the beacon of hope. This is the place for opportunity. This is the place, as La Chingona said, for liberation. That is what is happening here today. We talk a lot about what it looks like to do community-driven development, but this is the actual definition, because it's a community who came together and not only said right here, but right now. Not who will develop it, but our community will tell you what it looks like. We will find the partners, we will find the funding, and we will break down every barrier to build this in the vein and in the vision of our community right here in White Center. That's what you did. And I want to thank you for showing our community in King County, in Washington State, in the nation, what it looks like to do development done right. Because this is not development that displaces. This is development that creates homes, housing, family-sized units, health care, children, educational opportunities, outdoor space, playgrounds. This develops community in the heart of community because community defined this and you all made it possible. Thank you. So in the vein of liberation and self-determination, we will continue to look at this spot for the definition of how we create the answer to identifying what it takes to create healthy communities, because everything on this spot is actually investing in the social determinants of health. And at the core of that is housing. At the core of that is community. At the core of that is every single thing we need, not only to put a roof over our head, but to take care of what's in our head and in our minds and to create community around us. I am so excited about what you all made possible. I'm thrilled about these partners who looked across philanthropy and government and community and found ways to make this vision a possibility. I'm honored to be here at this groundbreaking to also follow my predecessor, who is here with us still, Councilmember McDermott Emeritus. If you could give it up for Councilmember McDermott one more time. And all of the funding that King County made possible for this, I will continue to be your champion and be able to help carry this forward. But I know that we stand on the shoulders of giants, and I thank you for your leadership, the opportunity to be here today and to see this vision become reality. Liberation, self-determination, solidarity. Thank you, everybody, for making this possible.
I am hyped up. Next up, we have one of our amazing investors that are supporting us in this project. Can I please have Rocky Fung, the VP of Community and Business Development from JP Morgan, come up and say a couple words?
Now, that's how you make a speech, both passionate and also, full of energy. That's a hard act to follow. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rocky Fong, and I'm the VP of Community and Business Development at JPMorgan Chase, and I'm also the community manager for the Seattle market as well. I'm thrilled to be here today representing the firm to celebrate the White Center Community Development Association and the groundbreaking of this highly anticipated hub. As you can see by all those who are here today, it is a testament of power of partnerships and community commitment as well. In addition to the job creation, healthcare, and social services, this new hub will also increase the community engagement, provide education opportunities, and also the entrepreneurial and business support programs, all of which are crucial of economic growth and development as well. This hub will serve as a catalyst to future economic development in Seattle by empowering and providing the necessary resources for the residents to thrive for generations to come. We're incredibly proud to support this project through new markets tax credit funding and also the honor to have played a role in making this day possible today. We can't wait to see the new doors open, and congratulations again to everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Next up, you've heard him a couple times, but this project would not be here if we didn't have leaders pushing us, supporting us all along the way. Can I please have my guy, Joe McDermott, come up here and say a few words? If he's still here? Oh, just kidding. No? Okay. If not, can we actually please have Michael Tanaka from the Office of Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal to say a couple of words on behalf of the Congresswoman.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Tanaka. I serve as Congresswoman Jayapal's Outreach and Grants Coordinator. While she unfortunately wishes she could be here today, I am here to share a few words on her behalf for this project. Friends, I am honored to send greetings on the occasion of the White Center Hub groundbreaking. Congratulations to all the project partners and supporters gathered today to celebrate this historic groundbreaking. The Hub project is a testament to your collective strength, resilience, and vision for a space that will deliver housing and economic development opportunities for White Center. I was proud to secure $4 million in community project funding for the White Center Hub in the 2023 budget. I am confident that this hub will truly be a place of hope, unity, and belonging. Creating a mixed-use facility for comprehensive family, youth, small businesses, and health services with approximately 80 new affordable homes will be transformative. White Center is one of the most ethnically and income diverse neighborhoods in our state. The Hub project truly reinforces our collective commitment to equity and opportunity for all people. Though I could not join you today in person, I am deeply inspired by the efforts of all the project managers to enhance the White Center community. Congratulations again, and enjoy the celebration. Thank you very much.
This is dope. This is the cool thing. You get cool folders and stuff. This is going in the treasure box. All right. And by any chance, is Megan Utame still here on behalf of U.S. Senator Patty Murray? Let's go. I'm putting you on the spot. We got to. We got to give Patty Murray a little love for coming out here and making this happen. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Obviously, I was not prepared to speak based on my attire that I am wearing today, but obviously the senator couldn't be here today, but this is such an important project to us, the work that we're doing. Obviously, when Auntie Seeley calls, I gotta come call in. Thank you, everybody, for including us in this project. Thank you, Seeley, and for all the incredible work that you do and everybody who made this project possible. I don't have much to say, but you know, the senator, this is something that really means a lot to her. And she's in DC fighting the good fight. And I'm just gonna say thank you to everybody who made this possible.
My name is Aaron Garcia. I've gotten the honor to get the handoff on behalf of Seeley to help run the White Center Community Development Association. Today is a landmark day. It isn't about four walls and a roof, but it's about the epitome of what this building is called: hope, unity, and belonging, the White Center Hub. That's what we're trying to create. That's what we've been doing from the beginning. We've been centering this community, the White Center community, every step along the way. So before I really get into it, if you work for the White Center CDA, have worked for the White Center CDA, if you're part of the board of directors, if you've been a former board of directors, if you've had any kind of role with the White Center CDA, please raise your hand. And let's give all these amazing people some love. So I'm not good at these kind of things, giving speeches, so I'm gonna need your help. So whenever you hear me say, "Who did this?" I need you all to respond, "We did that." All right, so let's practice this real quick. Who did this? Who did this? All right, so when we started this 7 years ago, we had to go to all these meetings, go to the county and advocate for this community. We had to get this upzone, rezone, do this, do that. We educated our community. We told the county, this is what we need. Who did that? When we started to design and planning, and then the pandemic hit, and all of a sudden, we had to pivot, go online, do different ways to incorporate and make sure the design of this project was really being led by this community. Who did that? And when we realized that it was gonna be a really big price tag, and we were calling out to all this big list of funders and all these networks and getting all the money and asking the council and the state and the feds and all these folks, not for their money, but for our money, right? we're reclaiming the money that has been earned because of black and brown folks not being able to get access to this. We're changing the system. We're going out there and making sure that we're getting the money back into this community. Who did that? Who did that? Who did that? Ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud of all the hard work we've done, but it is collectively, we did it. Not me, not Celia, all of us doing this project. That's how we got here today. So the last thank you of the day belongs to all of y'all, because we couldn't have done it if it wasn't for you. So give yourself a round of applause.